And we're back in the arena, and as you can see, I am out of coins, so I have to rebuild those as fast as possible in order to continue to draft to collect gems to go ahead and go grab the mastery tree. And the way we're going to be doing that is not by playing these big budget decks. And you know what, I've played a lot of the starter decks and I want to play something different. What are you supposed to do when you get there? Well, there is one thing you can do, but I can't quite do that right now because of the commons and uncommons and how new this profile is. So let's jump over to the other account and we're going to be talking about budget build decks. So this is my slightly deeper profile. I have most of the current standard stuff in here, but I'm not interested in playing these big old boys over here at all. Today we are looking at our new deck. I imported this from my other profile. We are going to call this Budget Mono Black Aggro. Yes, because what we want to do is we want to have fairly fast matches, and we want to get in, we want to get out, we want to collect our daily wins. This deck has 0 rares, 0 mythics. What does that mean for us? Well, it's going to be something to mix up what we're doing on a daily basis with the starter decks. These guys are great. They are really fun to play. The Angelic Accountants is really fun. The Ignite the Forge is very good. Grave Matters is a fantastic. There's a lot of fantastic decks in here. I would say a majority of them are very interesting and unique ways to play the game, and they can help you grow your profile quite a bit. But what happens when we're bored with that? Well, that is when we come in and for 0 rares and 0 mythics, we create a kind of baseline, especially for the monocolor decks. That's what we're doing, and we will upgrade this slowly over time. If this video does well, we'll do it on the channel. We'll show you kind of 3 or 4 card upgrades here and there until we have a full-fledged large deck. Cool. We want to be collecting the rare and mythic wildcards down here in order to actually build a big deck whenever this our profile is more advanced. As I said, this is my other profile, so ignore all of this. I don't have nearly the resources of my free-to-play account, right? But I do over here. It's actually very bare for where it could be, but regardless, we're not here to talk about how many wild cards I have. We are here to talk about building out an account. And so we have this 0 rare, 0 mythic deck. And what I will do is I'm going to go in and we're going to play these. Now, this is not the strongest deck by far, mostly because of how budget friendly it is. But because it is budget friendly, whenever we're getting wins, and we're hoping to play about 500 with this deck in play so that we can actually get our daily wins, right? And have a baseline to build up from it. Any win that you get with this deck is free real estate. I mean, your opponents are playing a lot of rare cards and stuff like that, and you're just playing these baseline free decks on common and uncommon wild cards, which will come in hot and heavy at almost all times. So you're going to have a lot of these as you play the game. And this is an example of one right now. Very easily craftable. Very easily craftable. Why use monocolors? Well, because we don't have those garbage tapped lands that come into the battlefield. We just have simple swamps. They come straight up, ready to rock and roll. We don't have to worry about waiting one turn to use our lands. So I like to play monocolor budget decks. Yeah, or I upgrade the lands. All right, so let's talk about this deck. What are we trying to do? Well, we have the elements of control that we see in the actual mono black control build. The Infernal Grasp, the Cut Down. We're missing our target to Planeswalkers, but I mean, we do have the Vengeful Strangler, which can target Planeswalkers. This is our Planeswalker removal. And yes, it is a removal card, and a creature starts as a creature, turns into removal after he dies. I think that this deck would be a lot weaker without the Vengeful Strangler. He is very necessary, and even this card will probably exist in this deck for a minute, right? Until we could replace it with maybe Soul Transfers or something like that. Let's look at this card in particular before we really start talking about the other things that are happening in this. So we got the cut downs, we got the Infernal Grass, and now we have the Vengeful Strangler. Whenever Vengeful Strangler dies, right, you enchant a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. At the beginning of your upkeep, enchanted permanence controller sacrifices a non-land permanent, then loses 1 life. Right? So, you put this on like a Shieldred or something, and the opponent doesn't want to give up that Shieldred. They're going to have to find other things to sacrifice on their side of the board until they finally have to give up that Shieldred. Now, Shieldred will destroy this deck overall. We definitely want to Infernal Grasp it or cut it down, but he could do target Planeswalker, target creature, doesn't really matter. It's a way to kind of target Planeswalkers without targeting them and getting the opponent to stack them themselves. Because this is a budget deck, we are going to have Vampiric Interlopers in here to have some sort of evasion, some way to get in on our opponent. As you can see, the max strength of any of our creatures, I mean power, not strength, power. Right? The max power of any of our creatures is 2. Actually, Felstinger has 3. Let me take that back. The max power that a creature on our side of the board will ever have is 3. Yes, that is very small, but this deck is supposed to be fast. Move in fast, knock your opponent out of the game as quick as possible, remove anything that they're putting on the board, anything that dies on your side. We're using Ghoulish Procession in order to create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. There are a lot of ways to upgrade this deck, and we will get into that in the post-game wrap. But until then, this is what we're dealing with, right? If you notice, even stuff like the Dire Grave Scavenger, he has Death Touch. He's a 2/3. And when he enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature was exiled this way, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That sounds awfully familiar to another card that we might be remembering. It sounds awfully close to the Graveyard Trespasser. It is a budget. It is basically the store brand of Graveyard Trespasser. Right? Much better card, and we will get into that at the end of the game. I'm kind of giving you a little bit of a sneak peek with this card right here. But yeah, a lot of these cards are kind of the store brand of the rares and the mythics that will eventually replace them in the deck. So yeah, that's what it is. This deck is meant to get in, hit the opponent, continue to draw cards. It's actually really hard to run out of cards with this deck, with the Felstinger, with the Conscript constantly coming from the graveyard, and with the Phyrexian Rager, right? So let's get into some matches. Let's see if we could overpower and just overwhelm some of these other decks. We're not going to be able to overpower them, but we are going to try to overwhelm them. Thank you for joining me in the arena today. Make sure that you have liked, make sure that you have subscribed, and we're here for really budget material, and we're going to continue to do that until people stop watching it. I will see you in the arena. Get an early game cut down, a Vengeful Strangler, and Okiba, Reckoner's Raid. Neat card. It allows us to gain a little bit of life, and sometimes it's really hard to get life with budget mono black decks, and we're trying to do it a little bit with Okiba's Reckoner's Raid. We get a tap land on the opponent's side, which is great, and we might want to start off with the Vengeful Strangler. We see blue, we see red from the opponent. That is a tap land, so hopefully the budget's a little bit tight on his deck. Usually whenever you play and play, you're going to run into people with decks with the same point value as yours. I don't know if that makes any sense. Well, you remove the Strangler, but we draw another one anyway. Yeah. Let's get into this match and see where it takes us. Phyrexian Rager. Yeah. Lose one of the life we got from the Okiba Reckoner raid. And now we can swing in for 4 next turn. Aha! The infantry is here. This card can get pretty brutal. Let's swing. There's a pause. That means it probably got a Fading Hope. Or a Consider. Not doing anything. Going down to 15. I think we try to get a cut down off. Yeah, no pause at all right there. I wonder if he actually considered blocking with the infantry. That's why there was that pause. I don't think it would have been the right move. He would have saved a card in my hand if he had. We get a Reef. That is a rare land, so yuck. Alright, my big question is, where is the Arcane Bombardment? Yep, he just tore right through that stuff, didn't he? We'll follow up with a Scavenger. Get rid of the infantry, though I probably should have gotten rid of like the Voltic Surge or the Abrade. Because I have a feeling that we're going to get Arcane Bombardment. Uh-oh, Ward 2, huh? Well, maybe if the Terror is in here, he's not going with the Bombardment. We'll swing in for 2. Now we get to keep our Scavenger. Down to 10, we put the Strangler out. Festival Crasher. Well, isn't that cute? 1 card in hand. Cannot block with the Vengeful Strangler. That is his one weakness. We're, of course, swinging in. Opponent. Ooh. Okay then. Down to 7. We Diregrave Scavenger, and he scoops it away. He scoops it away. 1-0. Can't really argue against that too much. And this is what you call a not good hand. Now, it could become good with draws, right? That's how that works, right? It is weird to see 2 ghoulish processions, so I'm going to roll with it. That's a good draw for us, so 2 ghoulish processions could be kind of funny, actually. So many zombies. Ew. Ew. That is absolutely disgusting. Adeline. Okay, we're way behind. Like it's not even close right now. Alright. Pull the Road Captain out. We could Ghoulish Procession and then Conscript. Pass turn. I'm going to give it my all here. I highly doubt we win this one though. Aaron. Yeah. Block the 1/1. We're going to take 7 here. Mana. Yeah, just go in. Swing with the conscript. Takes it. Doesn't want me to have those zombies. Gains a life, and there's a Lagamos. Yeah, this is a big boy deck right here. This is a big boy deck. Oh, that can't block. Oh boy. Yeah. And this is an example of getting completely eaten up by a deck that's much larger than yours. Budget decks. Gotta love them. We'll go in anyway. We die next turn. Opponent could literally just take all of this. Just tank all the damage and be done with it. I would have tanked it. Alright, there's no reason to stick around this. Look at all those rares. Man, oh man. He's got the expensive deck, we've got the budget deck. And we got totally annihilated there. Yeah, not even a fat chance for that one. The fat lady was singing before we even got in there. Okay, cut down, crawl from the cellar, could be good. We gotta get these rolling though, right? We are on the draw. Oh my word. 3 Reckoner raids. That's not what we wanted. 1 is good, 2 is great, 3 is a little bit much. Could be helpful though. Blue-green. Okay. More of this. Alright, opponent's not liking it. Channeled his careful cultivation. It was only now that he realized he had to be fast. Ooh! Jewel Thief is very bad for us. We did not get mana there. Which is really quite a shame. We do have a Vengeful Strangler though, so maybe we can make something happen here. I remember when this card first came out, I loved it. I played it in almost everything. The meta has shifted a decent amount, but still a useful card. Modern Age. Don't see much of Modern Age. This might be a budget build as well. Yeah, don't see any rares. Swings in with the Thief. Can't do anything to stop it, but we have plenty of life. Yep. Here's a couple more road captains. Swing. Blocks with the Thief. Okay. So the Strangler dies, but we put him on the Jewel Thief, and now we're going to actually cut down the Monk. Yeah. And we'll play the Cult Conscript here as well. Get a nice big board presence. Yeah, it's a bunch of junk creatures, but hey. That's budget arena, baby. Ooh, Boseiju. Very good uncommon card right here. This card is very nice. This might actually be that starter deck, right? It looks like it. Blossoming Growth. Swings in for 3. Oh no, no blocks. I want that to live. He sacks it anyway. Oh my word, no mana. Anything a zombie? Nope. Swing in. Get him down to 8. Go with the Interloper. He actually gets to flip the Modern Age now. 2/3 flyer. Draw a card, discard a card, all that shenanigans. And then he's just a 2/3 flyer. Pretty good creature overall. Zuza of Many Journeys. Gets to play an extra land per turn. Hey, we did it. We found a land. Okay. Let's move on to attacks. We're definitely swinging with the Conscript as well. Gets an extra 2 damage off. We don't want to lose the Interloper though. I'm giving you a free kill here. Follow up with the Strangler. We can actually crawl from the cellar, but we don't get the 1/1 counter. I think we do. Uh-oh. Cancel that. Grab the Strangler, and we don't get to submit anything for that. Uh-huh. That's a big boy. That certainly is a big boy. Cut down would be nice. So would Infernal Grasp. We didn't get it. Of course not. Alright. Swing. Just swing for the fences. Hullbreaker Horror. That is not fair. That's not fair at all. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Menace, baby. Put it on the Hullbreaker. Now, get that rolling. Get the Strangler rolling. We're still in good shape here. Now we're not. Yeah, we are. Because it'll have to be 2 and 2 blocking these 2 guys here. Strangler gets in for a little bit of damage. Now Strangler does not get in. Return non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Yeah. Smartly done. Smartly done. What do you have to return from the cellar? Interloper? Doesn't sound good. Rude. Very, very rude. We will have the opponent down to 1, and actually, if we draw a land, we can win. But we have to draw a land right now. Ho, ho, ho. Well, opponent, you did really well. Let's take a look here. A 7/7, a 7/8. You got all kinds of stuff. I think this is a starter deck. But man, oh man, the Scavenger comes out. And we get rid of the Jewel Thief. You lose 2 life, we gain 2 life. See you later. That's those big IQ plays right there. A little cut down action, a little bit of Reckoner's Raid action. I don't like drawing these two at once because it seems like you're always choosing between Cut Down and Okiba Reckoner's Raid. I think Raid has been the best move so far. So we'll keep it up. We'll play it again. Yeah, see? Tap land. And get the conscript rolling. The immortal conscript. Fell Stinger. Alright. Now he could exploit. If I cut that down, he doesn't get to draw cards, right? Right. Alright, take that card advantage away. Swing in for 2. End turn. See, and this is how you're supposed to play this. Hold up the removal. Infernal Grasp on the Cult Conscript? Yes, please. Don't mind that at all. We'll go to my turn. Mana. That is fantastic. Fellstinger is still in the graveyard. We'll swing. Does not respawn. Scavenger comes out. Get rid of the Fellstinger. He's down to 11. We are at 24. And he scoops it away. Alright. Alright. Yeah. See, the deck looks pretty good. Let's move to a post-game wrap and we'll talk about some upgrades. We'll talk about some upgrades to this deck. So, luckily, I had already set up what I wanted to talk about in the upgrade. So, let me click over on this Blood Budget plus Mono Black deck. Yeah, fancy, isn't it? We got the fancy swamps and everything. Cool, cool stuff. All right, so when looking to upgrade these, especially with a brand new account, you're going to not have all of the rares, all of the mythics that you need in order to build these decks out. So what I would deem to do instead is upgrade them piece by piece. Later on, we're going to want to have Meat Hook Massacres down in this 2 spot. We're going to want to have most of this stuff be gone. But for now, to start, right, we want to get Shieldred in here. We want to get the Graveyard Trespasser in here. And we want to get the Tenacious Underdog in here. That's really neat to have the Cult Conscript and the Tenacious Underdog. These are both things that come out of the graveyard and back onto the field. They help the Goalless Procession quite a bit. You know, I think that it's a neat little combination here. We're also going to want to take away the Crawl from the Cellars. You know, we're taking away the Crawl from the Cellars. We're adding a little bit more removal. Then adding in a Tenacious Underdog, or 4 copies of it, 4 copies of the Trespasser and Shieldred. If you notice something about the Graveyard Trespasser, is this is a massive upgrade to the Diregrave Scavenger. Look at that. When he enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Pretty decent, right? But has no follow-up effect. It is a common. This is the Walmart brand of the Graveyard Trespasser. That's why we remove 4 copies of the Diregrave Scavenger and add 4 copies of the Graveyard Trespasser. Right? That's awesome, because if you read the Graveyard Trespasser, it is 1,000 times better. This card is worth its weight in gold. No pun intended to it being a rare, right? Okay. Don't explain your jokes, Coffee Stout. Don't do that. Anyway, it has Ward. Discard a card. That's a brutal ward. Alright, when it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Wow, sounds really familiar, doesn't it? If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Then the flip side, you just double what it does. Right? Perfect card. Perfect upgrade for that card. This is Target compared to the Diregrave. This is Target and the Diregrave is Walmart. That's what we are seeing here today. Right? Then, since we have that 4-spot available in the deck, we might as well throw Shieldred the Apocalypse in there because, I mean, it's great. You lose 2 life, draw 2 cards, gain 4 life, right? No downside to Felsinger at all. No downside to the Tenacious Underdog coming into the field. It's just a fantastic upgrade for this deck. If this video does well, then we will go into the arena, play with this deck a little bit, and then focus on more upgrades. What can we upgrade next in this deck? Because eventually, most of the cards in this deck are going to be either rare or mythic. Right? And we all know where this is headed towards, but this is a nice, easy, piecemeal, piece by piece way to upgrade these decks. So you don't have to have 35 rares and 49 mythics in order to create this deck right off the bat. You could do this early on in a profile, right? As long as you spend effectively, as long as you collect effectively and efficiently. Efficiency is everything. And just piecemeal, slowly upgrading this deck. This is the way to do it. If you like this material, make sure that you like and subscribe. If you did not like the material, thank you for your time and your patience while we move through the arena in a budget, free-to-play account. Until next time, bye.